Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2024 Tesla Model 3. This is a long-range all-wheel drive. So when it comes to Tesla, in the car community, a lot of car enthusiasts, they hate on Tesla, right? They hate the way they look, they hate the way they drive, they hate that they get beat by them. So in this video, I want to talk about, is a Tesla boring to drive, or is a Tesla boring to own? This one here, like I mentioned earlier, this is the 2024 Highland model. As you can see by the badge in the back, dual motor, that is the telling sign that it's a long-range all-wheel drive. If it doesn't have anything on the back, it could be a long-range rear-wheel drive, or it can just be a standard range rear-wheel drive. But if you see the dual motor on the back, you know it's the long-range all-wheel drive. And then if you see obviously that plaid logo, it's the performance. But let's hop inside. All right guys, we're inside now, and as you guys can tell, the interior is very simple. This is another thing that people that don't like Tesla dislike about it, is that there's no like gauge cluster right here. It's very minimalistic. There's no buttons. Everyone likes buttons, even though the climate control is super easy to use. And I actually don't mess around with my climate control. I set it to automatic 72 degrees or 73 degrees and just let the car take care of it. I don't even have to worry about adjusting it all the time. But the materials are actually pretty nice in here, despite what people may say about Tesla quality. It's actually pretty nice in here. There's tons of storage space and stuff like that. So as a daily driver, if you guys are new to my channel, this is my daily driver. I have a 2024 BMW M2 that I have as my fun gas powered car, fun experience, exhaust, rear wheel drive, all that fun stuff. So this here is my daily driver, but I'm not one to say that Teslas are boring or they're boring to drive or anything like that, because they're actually really fun to drive. And we're gonna get on to the road here and I'm gonna tell you guys why. All right guys, let's go ahead and take off here. So I'm gonna say, are Teslas boring? No. So for one, there's something to appreciate about a car that rides really nice and a car that's really smooth and quiet. So for example, there's tons of car enthusiasts that like luxury vehicles, right? Luxury cars, they ride nice, you know, they're smooth with the power delivery, they're smooth with everything, right? And in my personal opinion, my Tesla Model 3 drives great. It rides really nice, it goes over the bumps nicely. The seats are extremely comfortable, more so than my M2, more so than my Audi RS3. The Golf R seats are really comfortable as well, so I'd say they're kind of in line with those. But the seats are great. The instant power is definitely not boring, because like for example like this, when you need to just get out real fast, you know, it just takes off like nothing, right? That instant power delivery, that instant takeoff is something that I find actually very enjoyable, something that's really fun. I don't find that boring. I don't find doing a 4.0 0 to 60 from a stoplight by just flooring it boring, right? That's actually pretty exciting in my personal opinion. You know, like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I made a video that did pretty well on this exact Tesla racing my M2. And in the usable parts of the power band, like lower speeds and stoplight races and stuff like that, the Tesla actually is just as fast, if not faster in some cases. And you know, this is just a regular daily driver type vehicle. This isn't supposed to be like some sort of sports car, much less so than the Model 3 Performance. So I really like the fact that this car is really fast. I love having that instant power to where I can get in and out of traffic with no issues. You know, when I'm driving home from a long day at work, it's so nice to be able to just cruise home. I can either cruise home in dead silence, or I can cruise home and listen to the radio or my, you know, my phone, because the stereo system, at least in the long range, so you can take off on these people real quick. So the stereo is really good. It has the upgraded sound system since it's the dual motor, and it's a really good sound system. There are some songs where the bass is kind of like high pitched and it rattles the interior a little bit, so that is kind of a downside. My BMW doesn't rattle the interior on the speakers, but as far as like the bass and everything, the loudness, it's a really good sound system. So if you don't want to drive around in dead silence, right, because electric car is dead silent, you're not going to hear the engine or anything like that. If you don't want to drive it around in dead silence, enjoy the fantastic sound system that they have, you know, because that's what I do. Even in my BMW, I very rarely drive around with no music at all. I understand a lot of car enthusiasts, they're like, oh, I want to hear the car, I want to drive around, just have the engine, you know, the music of the engine and all this stuff. I understand that completely, but I don't remember the last time I was driving around my BMW and I just had everything just completely dead silent and I was just trying to listen to the car. You know, maybe when I'm racing, I don't have the music going, obviously, you know. I will say this, if it was my only vehicle, right, maybe I would have a change of heart, but at the same time, as of shooting this video, I've already had this car for 3 months, right, coming on 3 months, and not once have I been like, oh man, this is just so boring, or oh, I just wish it made noise, or something like that. Like, I have no problem at all with the way this car is. It's super stealthy. So what I mean by that is when you're cruising around town or you're going fast, like stoplight to stoplight, you can go fast, you can kind of, you know, zoom through traffic and stuff, and you're not making a bunch of noise, you're not making a scene, you're not drawing attention to yourself. So the fact that it's really stealthy makes it a great, again, daily driver. You can just zoom around on your daily commute. Let's say you're in some traffic, you want to just kind of, you know, get out from around some people. You know, you can do that really fast without drawing a bunch of attention, without, you know, spinning tires or anything like that. Because, you know, again, all-wheel drive, you're not spinning any tires, you're not, you know, waiting for the car to downshift and doing all this stuff. You're just zooming in out of traffic, and it's really nice. You know, there's some concerns about, oh, the Tesla, you know, charging, that must be boring. You're just sitting at a charger. You know, you look like an idiot sitting at a charger while I just fill up my car with gas in 2 minutes, right? So for one, charging is extremely easy with a gas station. And this is nothing against like gas cars or anything like that. I'm just trying to make a case for the Tesla, right? So charging is extremely easy. You pull up to the supercharger and you plug it in, and that's it. With a gas station, you have to go through like a million prompts. Do you want a car wash? Do you have to are you a rewards member? Can you enter in your zip code? You have to go through all these different prompts to, you know, use the gas pump. But when you go to a Tesla supercharger, you just pull up and plug it in. It's super easy. So for one, it's not a big deal as people make it seem. You can supercharge extremely fast. So if you're using your Tesla for daily driving like I am, I charge at work, so I'm kind of in a unique situation where I never have to worry about charging. But let's say I was using a supercharger, right? It's so easy. I just pull up, I charge it. I can charge it for literally 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I'll get like 30-40% charge. It's so easy. Like, it's not hard at all. And 40% charge on a long range like what I have, that gets you a lot of miles. That's like a solid, I don't know, 150 miles. So 150 miles in 10 minutes, like, that's not the end of the world, you know, if you have to wait at the supercharger for 10 minutes. And guess what? A lot of people, especially my age and stuff, what are we doing when we have nothing to do? We're just on our phone going through Instagram Reels or whatever, TikTok, whatever. I don't use TikTok, but there's things that can occupy your time for 10 minutes where it seems like 10 minutes goes by like that. So what I do is, when I was using the supercharger, I was using it just to experiment with it. When I was using it, what I'd do is I'd edit my YouTube videos because I edit on my phone. Yeah, I know I don't have a fancy setup and all that, but I edit my YouTube videos as I'm waiting for the car to charge. So by the time I'm done editing the video or watching it, I'm already at a full charge. So it's literally not an issue. The charging's not a problem. I understand some people might have a different situation to where they're in an area where there's not a lot of Tesla superchargers, or they're in an area or they live in an apartment complex that doesn't have a charger, even though a lot of apartment complexes do now. And that's another reason why it's convenient. You can just charge at your apartment complex. If you live in a rural area, if you live in like Montana or something like that, I get it. Electric might not be for you. But as far as like the car being boring or something like that, it's really not. Like, it's super fun to drive. It's nice being able to just blend in, you know, cruise around. The car's great. It's faster than, like, I don't know, I'd say maybe 70% of cars on the road, like mine. Like, all these cars in front of me, if I were to line up with them at a stoplight, I can beat all of them. And I understand that's not, you know, someone's #1 priority, but as a car enthusiast, I like speed. I like being able to take off fast. And this car is really fast for what it is, as you guys could tell by the M2 versus Tesla video. If you haven't seen that, please feel free to check that out. I know some people, they say, oh, the Tesla has no soul or no character, right? So mainly what they mean by that is that the car has no sound or no like transmission shifting or something like that. mind you, that's all opinion based, because a lot of people still think that a sports car should be a manual transmission only, right? And I completely disagree with that. You know, I like modern day fast shifting automatics, but some people think that sports cars should be manual only. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Another thing, no transmission, right? Oh, I like to be able to feel the car shifting and stuff like that. This car, when it's so smooth, you grow an appreciation for how smooth it is. Because I know I personally, when I get into a car that has a really smooth transmission, that's why I love the ZF 8-speed so much. I love how smooth it is. I don't want a transmission that's clunking all over the place and jerking back and forth and stuff. That is not, I don't find that enjoyable at all. Another thing, some people say, oh, steering in the Tesla is boring. Well, guess what? The steering is actually really fast in the Tesla. See how quick that is? A lot of body roll. This car is not a handler, but see how quick that steering was? I don't have to turn the steering wheel a million times to make a turn. I can zoom in and out of traffic with like no problem. So like if you just need to get over real quick. See how nice that is? It's just so great. And again, as a daily, it's exactly what you're looking for. Last but not least, I just want to say that over my past 3 months of owning this car, it's really opened my eyes to how great Teslas really are. And I'm not trying to say it as like a Tesla fanboy. I'm not going to go on you know, YouTube videos and comment, oh, my Tesla will beat this, or the Tesla's better. I'm not going to say anything like that, because again, every car has its own purpose. But I think for what it is, the Tesla is actually really good. I've really been enjoying it. I have no regrets at all buying it. Sometimes in the back of my mind, I think maybe I should have got a performance, because I do, obviously I love performance, and all the cars I've had for the most part have been the top of their model range. I've had the Golf R, the RS3, the M2. It's all the top of the line model of that car. So I got the middle of the model when I got the Tesla instead of the top of the line, which is the performance. But for what I'm using this car for, it's actually really great. And I'll go into a different video on all the reasoning and thought process behind getting the long range all-wheel drive over the performance. I'll definitely make that video, so stay tuned for that. But if you guys are considering a Tesla as your daily driver, I actually do have a referral code, so check out the description. I've already had actually 4 people from my YouTube comments, or not my comments, from my YouTube videos that have actually taken delivery of a Tesla because they have a referral program. So thank you to all you guys that took delivery of your Teslas. I haven't really seen you guys in the comments, but you know, I think there was a guy named Austin, there was a guy named Cole, there was one with like a Middle Eastern type name. So I appreciate all you guys for taking delivery of your Tesla and everything, you know, saving yourself $1,000. And yeah, I'd say if you guys are a car enthusiast, you guys would appreciate a Tesla as well, for sure, because you'll understand how nice it is to have it in your fleet. Now again, I will say this, if it's your only car, I can understand someone might thinking like, oh, okay, that's kind of boring if it's your only car, right? But if you guys can afford to have 2, or you're okay with just having 1 car, you know, the Tesla, it's a great car. And I recommend anyone who's interested to get one. You know, no car is 100% perfect. Stay tuned for future videos. I'll talk about 5 things I dislike, and, you know, quality control issues and stuff like that. I'll definitely go over all that. I always cover the good and bad. I'm never gonna just cover the good things about a car. I'm always honest about everything. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts on the Tesla in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.